It seems like every time the Chris Chan story seems like it should be over or like will be ending soon, it just never ends, truly. Chris Chan is the gift that keeps on giving for people who enjoy watching lolcows, but unfortunately the story turned pretty dark a few years ago when we got the news that Chris had apparently had some kind of incestuous relationship with his mother. Or maybe I should say allegedly, more accurately, because I guess we don't know 1000% if that happened. Now, at the time I made a video about Isabella Janke, who was running a group of trolls who wanted to basically encourage Chris to do this, as well as encourage Chris to eventually end his own life. Thankfully, Chris did not end his own life, but I did cover that on my channel at the time. And since then, I've also covered Chris Chan's entire history on my main channel in a 6-hour-long video. And there I went over basically everything from the start of Chris's life until he went to jail. Now, the most recent development with Chris was that he had gotten out of jail. He'd been released. Basically, the charges were dropped. I'm not entirely sure why, but they were dropped. And then we started having sightings of Chris in public. People basically just, they'd spot Chris, they'd take a picture. I mean, in fairness, it's kind of hard to miss Chris when you see them out in public. Here we have what looks like, this looks like CCTV footage or something. Got a little bit of a grainy filter here. Here we have another one, shopping at Walmart. Here we have another one going in this looks like the video game, or like, I think this is the video game section. I think I can see some Funkos right there. So Chris is ready to get his nerd on. Seems that the interests haven't really changed. There really is no one else that people would justify like creep shotting like this, apart from Chris, just given their history. The most recent update is that Chris has officially returned to the internet in an official capacity. Here on the official Sonichu Twitter account, which reads, "I am Mrs. Christine W. Chandler Sonichu, goddess of the nations of Quickville, comma, and the Commodore consoles, comma, and the creator of Sonichu and Rosachu." She, her. And here we have a bunch of tweets that Chris has been making. So this one is from 2021, so quite old. This one, though, is from October 16th, so just a few days ago as of me recording this, and it says, "Second coming with ultimate miracle, chaos control." And here we have, looks like a room with a Sonichu medallion and some pony paraphernalia. More ponies in the background, which looks like Chris's room. Here we have, looks like a model magic or clay statue of Sonic. Here we have a picture of Chris Chan. I think this is Chris's Sona. It says, "Beware all toxic haters, sinners, and darkest demonics, for I am Jesus. Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, the goddess blue heart and your Lord and God." The goddess blue heart? Does it say heart? The goddess blue heart and your Lord and God. And I am, and I. Why is this up there, Chris? What's going on here? "And I bring personally the second coming." I feel like that was fine. Do you need to have "and I am, and I personally the second coming"? Am I being stupid here? Am I being dumb? Am I being dense? Well, whatever. Chris is back, and apparently Chris is also living at the house that he grew up at with his own mother. And Chris has also been giving takes on Twitter like this one, saying, "On an unrelated note, verification process improvement aside, the price is not needed for that. Elon Musk has really Twitter up. Nobody, not even I, will refer to it as X. That is just as stupid, why stupid, tonto y tonto as Team Rocket and Giovanni, period." Phew. It feels really good to finally get that off my mind and back. So I guess Chris has been waiting to say this about Twitter for quite some time. It's the Royal Albert Hall for obvious reasons. And here we have a drawing of a bunch of Chris's characters on stage. It says, "Chris Chan and the Hedgehog." What does this say? Zaps. Okay, Chris Chan and the Hedgehog Zaps featuring Clandestine. It looks like this is Chris right there in all of her shining glory, the Queen. And if we go to this video, we see someone saying, "Wait, why did you green screen yourself into the Roman Colosseum?" And you may be wondering what this is from. Well, this is from a video titled "Setting the Record Straight. There was never any sex involving me in 2021" via YouTube. This has 2,000 likes. It has 1,400 quote retweets. We can see a lot of people talking about it. "I did not have sexual relations with my mother." This is a good one. "Fresh out the feds. New GF, 11 years as junior. All charges dropped. Even lost a low weight. Completely vindicated. We are so back." And a lot of people are talking about this video. Now, it appears to be, as per the title suggests, it seems to be basically a classic YouTuber response to the allegations. Setting the record straight. Comments are turned off. We can't see the likes and dislikes though. And it's basically Chris trying to dispel the rumors that Chris Chan and their mother had any kind of relationship that was weird, inappropriate.
"I did not have sexual relations with that woman,"
etc. Which, basically everyone on the internet has believed for a few years. I mean, myself included, right? So we're going to take a look at what Chris had to say in this video. Maybe this will be a genius debunking of the allegations, okay? Quite 2.0. We're all going to come to our senses and decide that, you know what, frankly, Chris needs to be redeemed. Chris needs to be saved.
Hey everyone, this is Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu Prime here. And right now I'm going to set the record straight. So just so y'all know, straightforward and blunt, to the point. The reason I went to jail, the charge I was charged with, I was innocent there never, ever, 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 ever was any sense between Barbara and I, period. I was innocent. I have a few bullet points to go through anyway. Miss Shu, I mean, where did we go to end up here? So obviously we got all the hangers and fakers and the toxic sinners that tried to manipulate me and so much. I mean, just...
So when Chris talks about manipulation, I wonder if they're talking about basically Isabella Janke and their little cohort of people who were, trying to troll Chris, encouraging this kind of behavior from Chris at the time. Or maybe they're referencing the internet at large. I can't really tell, quite yet. We don't have enough information. But I'm curious if we're going to hear anything from Chris about, the Janke situation. Or is it Janka? I don't really know how to say her name, but whatever.
That was a mess of good grief right there. Why did y'all have to do that? You all really erroneously misunderstood me, period. And just, that was a whole mess up.
Erroneously? I feel like that's a big vocab word. No? For Chris, maybe?
Y'all, your freaking smut fictions. I know some of you out of the minority that are the worst. Out of the majority being actually good. Okay? You are the minority. You've written those smut fan fictions. You shipped me with Barbara. You shipped me with that Snorlax. And I've seen worse.
Now, it's funny to me to hear that Barbara, being Chris's mom, is on the same tier as Snorlax in his mind. That's pretty crazy.
And Barbara was definitely not the perfect mother with me. It was not the perfect mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah, true. Talk about it.
Growing up, there was the times of abuse, even though there was love and caring in there and throughout. But that was a whole different kettle of fish right there. But yeah, the bullying!
I'm curious if Chris will ever go more in depth about that on their own channel. If you go here to the official YouTube, there's quite a few videos uploaded since the start of the channel. How many years ago? It must have been, 10 years ago, basically. There's been quite a few videos. I wonder if this is going to be like an official comeback of e-celebdom for Chris, or if it's just going to be kind of a temporary thing. Because I feel like if Chris wanted to, they could definitely, as dark as this sounds, they could definitely turn this into like a very profitable e-celeb career. Because just on people who want to watch out of morbid curiosity alone, just to see how far things have fallen, there definitely are a lot of people who will be willing to watch Chris Chan for like years to come. I don't know if Chris has the intelligence to maintain an audience. I don't know if Chris has the tenacity to regularly post content, but there have been a few videos posted over the past few days, so we'll see what happens.
Not the perfect mother with me. It was not the perfect mother-daughter relationship there, period. Growing up, there was the times of abuse, even though there was love and caring in there and throughout. But that was a whole different kettle of fish right there. But yeah, the bullying, the terrorizing, and all that, they really f***ed me up. I feel so... Just enough said right there. But hey, you're never going to make me commit suicide, period. And that was the intention that Bella had in all her chopped and screwed up recordings with...
Oh, okay, so Chris does explicitly mention Bella.
And that was the intention that Bella had in all her chopped and screwed up recordings with all...
True, that was one of Bella's intentions. Now, from what I understand, Isabella Janke has basically fled the internet since all this stuff came out. I think that she basically just decided to go, probably change her name and dip. I've heard a few things like here and there. There was a concerted effort by someone, I don't know who, but there was a concerted effort by someone to file privacy complaints on my video about Isabella Janke. Basically get that video taken down. Those privacy complaints were unsuccessful, but you never really know what's going to happen with those situations. If you guys will remember, her parents, I believe, are feds, so who knows what kind of connections they may have and abilities they may have to basically save Bella from consequences and relocate her, because as far as I know, there's never been any charges against Bella. She probably left her school, but beyond that, I don't think we got any real notice about anything regarding her. She's managed to completely elude the internet, which, considering the amount of people following the Chris Chan story, that is rather impressive, right? Like, people online get doxxed for way less. It's impressive that she's managed to basically evade any internet attention for this long.
All the attention and manipulating me into that. But hey, I foreknew she
like, no one in public has recognized her. She must have changed her appearance a lot. Like, a lot.
Gonna do that. I tested her. At the time, I treated her like, just as a friend, try to get her to be on the good side. But obviously she failed. Just like I foreknew the relationship between Dylan and Taylor, that was not going to last. He abused her. I gave her support on that live stream when I went on there, because I appreciated her as an artist and an individual, which was more than I could say for Dylan at the time. But yeah, Bella was going to actually record me and Fifi having done something at the hotel had I actually made it to BabsCon. But fortunately, that didn't quite happen.
Having done something at the hotel. What is this in reference to? I don't actually remember what this means. Is there some claim that there was going to be like intercourse inside of a hotel room and there was going to be filming from Isabella Janke? Is that what is being claimed here? Is that what the situation is here? Chris-Chan does have a girlfriend from what I understand.
A few weeks ago, a very blurry picture of Chris-Chan appeared online, in which Chris appeared to be kissing and hugging a random woman. And in the weeks since, most people on the internet have given their speculation as to who this woman is. Is she someone who is like assigned to be a caretaker for Chris? Is this an actual girlfriend? And I don't think anyone can really put their finger on it because there's still so much like unknown information out there.
True.
And a few days ago, some new pictures dropped which show Chris and this woman sitting at what seems to be a food court or something. And
so it looks like people are currently speculating on who this girl may be.
I don't blame you. You know, I think we'll find out more soon, but I say that all the time with the Chris situation, and then we find out nothing. So who knows? Maybe we'll never find out.
I'm really hoping this girl isn't romantically interested in Chris, because I know we joke about this, but the world really doesn't need Chris producing another Chris. I know it sounds harsh, but consider this. That child would grow up and find out everything their father has done, and that could mess them up for more than a lifetime, especially knowing what he did to Barb. If she's dating him voluntarily and not being tricked or manipulated, I can't even begin to fathom how mentally disturbed she must be. Yeah, man, I mean, that's definitely a dark situation. That's definitely a dark situation that we've got in our hands, where Chris, you know, with these crimes is basically out and just allowed to be free and prosper, and once again living with his mom.
She one way or another, she would have got me into jail or tried to get me to commit on the whole different thing. But hey, she failed. She didn't do that. I took the initiative in my own hands, so I let divine intervention, timing, and everything just let me go to jail, spend my time suffering, and spend the time for your sins, you fucking toxic ones.
Chris has had this like arc of reverence ever since jail, basically. Even before, there were a lot of delusions about, like, you know, Sonichu being real and all this stuff, but there's also been this letter that came from jail basically after Chris went away for a little bit, which was reported on by, you know, news outlets basically as well. And we have this picture of the letter. This is the last page, and basically they end it with comparing themselves to Jesus. And finally, the all-important popular present FAQ, why and what the hell? Emmanuel, God above all other gods and goddesses, and many of my mentors herself, has deemed me to heal, cleanse, and clear Barbara of all her past sins and regrets, and improve her abilities directly and personally as her goddess. Is that what gods do? They do stuff with their mom? We mainly cuddled, soul bonded, and talked, consentful and emotionally and mentally supportive and healing. I did as I had done for and with a chosen few back in Israel over 2,000 years ago in cleansing. So this is a level of delusion Chris is on. You got to keep in mind. This is not a reliable narrator, okay? This is someone who genuinely believes that they are the second coming of Jesus Christ. More details for the Bibles that had been overlooked and left out. We gods had eased up on the views of adultery. Why else do you have all the pro-gay, pro-lesbian, pro-trans, and all today in the past decades? Everyone involved were all being genuinely, deeply happy, content, and spiritually satisfied with themselves and each other. As long as all are over the age of consent, well, thank God that's out of the way, okay? Thank God we at least get that from Chris. And the activity was consensual by all parties involved, and genuinely, spiritually happy, it is good. I have further insights and details and already shared them with David Heilberg. And I get out on second coming or sooner by uninterrupted co-divine intervention. All your demons and curses are no more and unrevivable. Judgment Day, praise us gods. And so, I mean, clearly Chris here is comparing himself to Jesus. So, like, as a result, like, is there a possibility that what happened with Barb did not happen? Yes, there is a small possibility there, but Chris is not someone that you can trust because Chris isn't even aware of their own surroundings, basically, right?
And I meditated and learned everything. I am Jesus Christ reincarnated. I am the one avatar of all existence, and I'm going to see that there is nothing.
So yeah, just as I say that, we get into one of these diatribes, rants, right?
But good and righteousness and light-powered individuals, and encouraging all the neutrals to be good. Period. Just like I'm trying to do in this video and statement right now, setting the record straight. But I was proven innocent. And they couldn't place me anywhere, which is why they kept me in jail for so long, because they didn't know what to do with me. They didn't know what to do with somebody was freaking autistic that you weren't putting your words in. Ish. Dude, they just kept me in jail. They didn't know where to place me. But fortunately, they did know where to place me eventually, so that happened. I'm safe and doing better.
And what would be amazing is to hear from one of the inmates on the inside, to basically hear about what Chris is up to. I remember back in the day when Chris went away, there were stories that people were telling about how they were going to basically shove a phone into their cavity, their empty cavity, and then get arrested for like a minor charge and then go to jail and try to meet Chris. Obviously that didn't happen, or else we'd probably have a good story out of that. But yeah, I really wish we had gotten to see what it was like being incarcerated with Chris. I don't know if they were with the general population. I don't know what that was like. I don't know if it was like Chris hanging out with, MS-13 and gangbangers, but we may find out someday from someone on the inside once they get out. And once they figure out that they were locked up with like the most horrendous E-celeb, if you can call Chris that, of all time.
But I did nothing wrong, and only the certain individuals online, they had wrongfully manipulated and controlled me and my own narrative, but no more.
I appreciate that Chris prepared this. You can see reading off of a statement right here. Okay, this is an important statement to get out. Chris knew that he had to prepare.
I take control of my own narrative from now on. Not
Queen.
Not you lot of haters and fakers. I am a much better individual than that. Y'all should have known better of me than that. That is enough with the mislabelings and the misconceptions.
We've probably had enough of that video, but there is another video on Chris's channel. This is not even the first one that was uploaded. Here we have Jesus Christ Chan Sonichu Prime Resurrected and Returned, and this is the official return video before all else. Once again, comments are turned off. But Chris does have an Etsy store. Here we have the official Chris Chan Sonichu medallion. Here we have a Warhol / Chris Chan handmade book. Here we have a bunch of lost commissions, I guess, that are being sold for hundreds of dollars, which is pretty amazing. I kind of want to buy one of these things, but I also don't want to give Chris money. That's kind of the dilemma with some of these situations, right? You want to buy a really funny artifact, but do you really want to give this person $300? And do you want to lose $300, more importantly, probably? Maybe equally as important. The description on this 200,000 view video says, "Glory to be all who are light-powered, good, righteous, and neutrals with ability to be good. There is only good remaining on this earth and this universe and timeline as we survive and continue onward in light-powered glory. The worst of toxic sinners are left behind and gone. Now we redeem the remainder of the minority who remain. All is and shall be good with the ultimate miracle, and the dimension merges completion. Let your auras and chakras be aligned and healed." This pair of reworded songs are appropriate with the fall of the toxic ones and the rise of the light-powered and good. So I assume the toxic ones probably reference Chris's trolls from back in the day, and from a few years ago, with the people who led to the whole situation of him being in jail in the first place.
"This is the boss, and I'm sick of waiting. Get your crap together and stop following those twerps."
Prepare for stupid. Make it lucid. Prepare for stupid. Make it lucid.
Oh, we'll focus on one mouse.
Once we get it, we'll rule the house.
I'll be the dude.
So we can see a very, very beautiful performance from Chris. Very beautiful singing, really hitting those notes. You'll notice that Chris is singing in a relatively high register. Well, that's because, while Chris has been in jail, there's been a lot of practicing going on. There's been some vocal lessons. There's actually a recently incarcerated singer who's been teaching Chris a lot of the skills that are necessary to become a famous, pop star queen. And I think Chris is right up on his way. He's going to be there with Katy Perry soon. He's going to be up there with Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift. They're all going to be performing together. It's going to be quite beautiful, quite amazing. So stay tuned for that content.
I'll cause a fuss.
I'll be a major dumbass.
Okay, I think we probably get the idea of that song. We'll skip forward a bit and see what we have here.
But we're not the man.
We epic fail and land in jail.
And I get you out on Trump's like a veil.
So at some point, there's a number of Chris's that come on screen, as we can see here. There's some really advanced editing going on.
Stupid, lucid, stupid.
What is this?
This big stupid is all your work.
Why is there like 7 of them? So I think there's like, they're not all duplicates, right? There's a few individual Chris dances, I think. Oh, they are duplicates, but the same thing. I don't know what this song is, but it's pretty fire. Especially with the music video accompanying. It's really making me feel, you know, involved. And of course, it couldn't just be a hard cut. There had to be a nice fade.
Crashing down again.
Just like a Pokemon song. Is that the deal? We have a bit of a background change over here. Let's check this out.
I know all. I see all. I foreknow
True.
all.
True.
I've been there.
True.
Done that.
True.
Everything.
True.
So now, with that, we're still amidst our Dimension Merge completion and the moment of Futurast. As you shall learn shortly enough with the events that happened back in late February 2006. But for now, we are on the road, on the road.
Alright guys, this is the background change. The fire is about to come.
On the road to the city of Quickville, I got a badge and the power to zap it.
So Chris is posting a lot of great content right now. I think that, you know, I originally doubted the comeback, but I think that given all of this, I think Chris has a bright career in music, a bright up-and-coming album. I'm honestly surprised that a record label like Hollywood Records or, you know, Atlantic Records hasn't reached out and signed this individual yet, because clearly there's a young, shining star really coming into their own, finally. And, you know, with the history of controversy, we've got a really marketable product here that can really work for the kids. You know, people love a good anti-hero. They love someone who's been affected by cancel culture and is able to push on, and I think Chris is an amazing example of that.
To the city of Quickville.
We got a little spin. That's what they say. They say, do a spin for me, baby girl.
City of Quickville, on the road to the city of Quickville.
Hey, baby doll, why don't you do a spin for me? Hey, baby doll, do a spin. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what I like. Okay. Chris Chan is back. Chris Chan is posting content. I don't know exactly where it's going to go. Maybe we'll find out more information about Chris's girlfriend sooner rather than later. But for now, we're just left to enjoy the content that we're being given, basically. And hey, you know, I can't complain too much. Definitely feel like this is not the best outcome, but also not the absolute worst. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you liked this video, consider becoming a member. For $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts, unreleased videos, and the members only Minecraft server. Thanks so much to all of my YouTube members who fund my content.